Hey folks, L.A. Little here with TA Today, and today I'm going to talk about waste management. Not nearly as sexy as some of the others like tech, but hey, this one actually goes up instead of down, which is what everything else is doing. I was over looking at my new high list. I was popping in here. The green highlighted ones are new things, and I saw waste management again. And I saw one the other day, last week, and so I'm like, okay, well, let's take a look at that guy. So I popped over through that into this and said, okay, this is the sector trends, and I said, okay, what's in this sector? And then I sorted it on the intermediate turn time frame, and I can see the ones that are bullish, and I can see the ones that are suspect bullish, and so I popped through those and I highlighted the ones that really looked interesting. So let's look at those. Let me pull this off the screen. Let's start with CWST. Here's Casella Waste Systems. You can see this thing popping higher on both the all time frames. Actually, you can see it up here at the top. On the monthly, top just broke out last week. Actually, let me pop that up. Broke out last week over this swing point high. It's breaking out this week over the next swing point high, and you can see it breaking out here. So essentially what you're doing is you're breaking out multiple time frames, right, which typically gives you the thrust to continue. What I don't like about it, it's pretty extended, right? And I don't like things that are extended. If I go look at the ABCD structures, you have one that projects up to 122. That's not that far. So it's like, okay, this one doesn't really pique my interest that much, so I pop to the next one. GR Environmental Holdings. If I look at this guy, and let's cut to the chase real quick. Is there anything extended here? Yep, starting to get extended. What's it look like in terms of how far it can go? Well, 62 is a nice number, right? 66 is a good number. 52 is about to print this week, so that's a decent number. It's another 10% or so, a little less, about 8%. So this one, yeah, I can make an argument, and all these ones I'm showing you are strong, so I'm just popping into them. I'm not going to analyze them for strength as much as what they're doing. Waste management, the big daddy of them all. You can see it's up here at the top of its chart too, over on the monthly. If I look over here, is it extended? Well, wait a minute, this one's not extended. Well, that's kind of interesting. I like those that aren't extended, right? This is still bearish. Went bearish here as it broke below. Now it's coming back. The retest regions were there. Got over those real easy. You're back up. You're going to try and break this swing point high and then break that one. Okay, so you got some resistance in here, but you're coming back up nicely. If I look at it on the monthly, on the weekly, I can see that even though this didn't print a swing point high, it's going to act like a high, and then the one that's above it, which is exactly what we just saw over here on the daily, that's key. You want to see it get up there. Did a little doji today, so I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes back down now. A whole market's probably going to come back down and do a little bit more churning in this area. And if I look over it monthly, this is a strong stock, right? You got up here consolidated, right? Now it did another consolidation there, and now it's broken out to another leg. So this could get you another leg up before another big consolidation sets in. And that's what you'd be playing it for. So waste management, pretty interesting. And it's the granddaddy, so the money flows to that one. Republic Service Inc., another one. Look at this one over here on the monthly. Just keeps climbing month after month after month. But the problem, as with the others, a little bit extended. So if I go to the next one, and that one is VEOEY Environment, and if I go to it, this one's not extended, right? You don't see big extensions here. Just broke out last month, right? It's got another high up here, so you got some left-hand resistance still. Very strong action here. Now this is not a huge volume, doing 1 million shares on that line there. So, you're usually pumping about 400 to 500, sometimes 1 million. For small traders, this is still enough. The bid-ask spread is not that bad. And then here it is here. So I kind of like what I see here. What I would want to do is see it build out just a little bit more, right? Churn a little bit in here, build out a flag sort of situation if you're thinking about classical TA. and then eventually make the run from there. So kind of like this one too. So when I go in and I look at the sectors, got some strong stocks, a little bit extended, would rather them not be so extended, right, for me to start a position. But there are a couple. Waste management, and this one, VEOEY. A trend is your friend, folks, and in this market there's not a lot that has strong trends. We've talked about gold before, very strong trend, right? Probably the strongest trend right now. It's up like 25 to 27% on the year, the metal itself, and the stocks themselves are up even more. So gold, yeah, that's a great one. But here's another one, waste management, pretty strong. I've talked about insurance, right? That's a strong sector. Matter of fact, one of the things I do is I look at sectors. If I go back into here, pop up the top, and come into the reports and go to sector momentum, we can see those sectors, and I'll just sort it so we can see them. There's your gold, right? Very strong at the top. If I go to a 4-week, gold, right? That's the strongest trend out there. But if you go down the list here, healthcare providers, food and beverage, infrastructure, right? These all have had good runs, in particular of late, right? Which has brought them up. Some of these, aerospace and so forth. But sectors important. Why? Because what happens is stocks rotate, right? So if you see one stock going, then another one goes, right? So when you see a stock in a sector going and you see another stock going, you kind of want to look at that sector because you can pick off the next one and the next one, and they'll rotate, right, back and forth. It's called pin action. A lot of times that's what you're looking for. Hey, if you like what I'm doing, just help me out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, set an alert so you get the alerts each time I put out a new video so you don't miss them. And check out TA Today if you get time. A lot of good material there. All you got to do is register, and you can get it. You can get everything on the site 2 weeks delayed if you want to kind of follow on a delayed pace and learn what Neoclassical is all about.